Welcome everyone, and today I wanted to show it to a game which is played between Magnus Carlsen versus Arjun Erigaisi in World Rapid Steam Championship in the Hong Kong 2026. So Magnus Carlsen, he was playing with the white pieces in this game and he started the move with the move knight to f3. There is pawn to d5, pawn to d4, knight to f6, pawn to c4 and e6. So standard queen's gambit decline. Well, of course, the move order is different, but the standard, if you just see, there's the same thing, you can achieve the same position. It's like, for example, d4, there's a d5, pawn to the c4, pawn to e6, there is knight to f3, and there is knight to f6. Okay, but after the move knight to e6, there is knight to c3, and over here the top recommended move is like the bishop to b4. It's a move to the Ragozin variation, but Arjun Erigaisi, he just played the move calm and soft moves, simple bishop to e7, and the idea is he wants to castle. Magnus Carlsen over here played the move bishop to f4. Now if over here he just played the move immediately pawn to e3, so the dark square bishop will be locked. So over here bishop to f4 or bishop to g5 or maybe the g3, there are the three options he has. So he picked for the bishop to f4, and the idea is on the next move he will play the move pawn to e3, short castle, and that is what he played with the move e3. And Arjun go for the little aggressive. Over here the top moves you will see like a b6 is possible, knight b to d7 is possible. The idea is to go for the move c5, but he immediately moves the c5. Now Magnus Carlsen, he played this position a lot of times with the white pieces, is against Caruana, against Vishwanathan Anand, against Nakamura, and in most of the games if you see, either he won the game or he able to drew the game. Pawn takes. Now immediately bishop takes c5 is possible, but okay, that pawn is not going anywhere. b4 it stopped because the knight takes b4 will come. Bishop to e2, d takes c4, bishop takes c4, bishop takes, and here maybe the queen to a4 is also possible. The idea is I'm just vacating the square for my rook and attacking on the opponent's queen, as well as I'm not giving the option that opponent's queen can take mine. But okay, it's fine. Short castle, knight to h5, attacking on the bishop, and here Magnus Carlsen played queen to e2. Simple, just removing the queen from this file, and he just wanted to place his rooks on either of the rooks. It depends on the position he will put the rooks. Knight takes f4, e takes f4. Now what is the idea behind to make this double pawns? The idea is now the pawn is on the f4 so that in the future he can place his knight on the e5 square as well. Pawn to b6. Now idea is pretty clear. He just wanted to develop his bishop on maybe b7, not a a6 because the bishop will take it. Rook a to d1, attacking on a queen. Queen to e7. Knight to e4, attacking on the c5 bishop. Bishop to b7. Knight takes and queen takes. Of course he cannot go for the pawn takes, then his pawn structure will be collapsed. So queen takes e5. Knight to g5. Knight to d4, attacking on the queen. If the queen moves far away, then the queen takes bishop. So queen takes its force, and now he's increasing the pressure on this knight because the rook is also protected. So knight to move to f5, rook f to e1, queen to c6, just creating a mating threat on the g2 square, f3 just to permanently block this diagonal, pawn to b5. Critical position, and in this position Magnus Carlsen simply has to play the move like bishop to b3, and after the move queen to b6 he can just a simple king to h1 and it's all fine. But here he played the move bishop takes e6, which is a mistake, and after the move f takes, so knight takes. So because of two pawns he give up his bishop. Queen to b6 check, king to g8, and rook to f6. Now just increasing the pressure on this knight. So knight to g5, pawn to h6, hitting the knight, queen to b3 check. Now in this position, if we just calculated that rook to e5 is also fine. Rook to e5, h takes g5, rook takes f5, rook takes f5, queen takes f5, it's fine. Okay, check, king to h8, knight to f7 check, king to h7, knight to e5, and over here Arjun Erigaisi blunder by playing the move rook to d8. He thought that maybe just an exchange will come, but Magnus Carlsen just knight to d7, and it's a fork, so rook has to take it. Of course, rook takes and rook takes. Now this position is equal. As you can see, the black has bishop and knight, white has a rook, the same, or maybe the 1 point just a difference, that's it. So rook versus rook, queen and queen, so position is equal. It's all is done. Queen to f2, increasing the pressure on the e1. I just wanted to capture it. So queen to d1. Of course, rook takes, maybe rook moves to e1, or maybe the another rook back. That is much better option, I think so. But okay, this is also fine. It's not like that's a losing one. Rook to g6, creating a mate. Okay, and over here Magnus Carlsen should go for the move rook to g1. This is the best move. But here he made the blunder by playing the move rook to e2. Now you can pause the video and find out the best move for black. If you want, I can just flip the board for you. Okay, now find out the best move for black, and after that one Magnus Carlsen resigned the game. He played over here queen takes f3. Now first of all, he lost a pawn and probably will lose the second pawn as well. And if there is a pawn takes, then simple bishop takes is check, rook to g2, bishop check, king to move to here, and bishop to f3 picks off the, like, maybe then it will just picks off here. So of course, like after capture, you can see still the black has a next on knight. So because of all of this, after the move queen to f3, Magnus Carlsen resigned the game, and Arjun Erigaisi won this game with the black pieces.